Good evening, folks. Can you guys hear me? Because I can't hear you.
Six or seven times a year.
Where is it in Canada?
It's in Quebec.
Oh, not a bad place to go 6 or 7 times a year.
Not a bad.
If you ever need a travel partner.
You know. As long as it's springtime.
I was gonna say, there are certain times of the year you don't wanna go to the
Springtime.
Quebec. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Caroline, he says he can hear now.
Okay, good.
Great.
I was just kind of.
Can we?
Can we hear him?
Hey, folks, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, a little
Great.
bit.
A little bit.
I'm far away.
I'm far. I'll scoot up.
That might just be a volume thing. That's just
Volume on the system there, maybe.
we're working on the system here, Todd. I don't know if it's a you thing.
Ah, gotcha.
There we go.
There we go.
Yes.
Is the volume good for everybody?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
yes.
Perfect.
Thank you so much, Caroline. Really appreciate it.
Oh, there you go.
Thank
Right
you.
there.
Yeah.
It's funny to see my big head behind you, Ernest.
Your voice is coming from the sky, Todd.
Yes, I am everywhere. I'm omnipresent.
Voice from on high. Yes. We have any notice of anyone that could not be here tonight?
I do. I was emailing with Charlie. He's been covering at work because a lot of folks have COVID there, so he said he can't make it this evening.
Okay.
I think that's the only person I've heard from.
So we haven't heard from Mary
No.
and Catherine.
Catherine, yep.
We don't have our mics today, is that okay? For
No,
the
she
recording?
said that the mics in here are very sensitive and pick up everything.
Nice.
I believe we have a quorum still.
Do we have?
I think so.
More time?
Yeah.
All right. All right, so let's go ahead and call this meeting to order at 6:34 PM on February the 15th of 2024. Good evening to all. And we'd like to welcome Ms. Angela,
Angela.
Ms. Estes, so welcome to your first commission meeting. I'm glad we could finally get you in the house.
Thank you. It's a pleasure being here.
Well, thank you for saying yes,
Absolutely.
and put your name in the hat and coming in to the Human Rights Commission.
Always.
Thank you. So we have a couple that are hopefully on their way and one that is not, so we thankful for them as well. Todd, would you like to do roll call?
Yes, I will do that. I am sorting out my screens here. You know, it's funny, I haven't done this the Zoom management of everything in a while, so bear with me as it takes me a second to get my screen all set. Ernest,
Present.
you're present. Wolfgang,
Here.
Jeanette,
Present.
Mary, waiting.
Here.
We know Charlie's out. Angela,
Here.
welcome.
Thank you. Here.
And Catherine, not yet.
Yeah.
Suzanne
Here.
and Andy.
Here.
Here comes Catherine.
Ah,
Yeah. Yeah.
welcome, Catherine.
Yeah, Catherine and Mary. Catherine's lighting the way.
That's right.
I'll mark Catherine as present.
Yes. Yeah.
Mary.
And Mary, they both are here.
Hello.
Hi.
We were doing roll call, so we just added you in,
It's okay.
which is why we're just.
I'll wait for you guys so we can do the awkward mission statement together. That's our mission statement is on, Ms. Angela. Our mission statement is on the back of your tent. So you can see it there.
There you go.
Hello, hello. Hi, no, it's okay. I was waiting for you guys so we can do the awkward mission statement together.
Yeah. We're voices.
Should we all hold it?
We might have had a sticky from a sandwich.
Yeah, all right. Mission statement time. Act as a strong advocate to justice and equal opportunity by providing citywide leadership and guidance in the area of
Civil rights.
Oh man, I missed it.
For individuals that are phoning in or that may be participating virtually, if you experience technical difficulties, you may call 434-970-3115. And a staff person will assist you. So if you are seeing us virtually or participating virtually and you have experienced difficulties, you may call 434-970-3115. Do we have anyone virtually other than Todd? No. All right. Matters of the about the public. So we have no one, correct?
Correct.
And no one in the audience? Nope. All right. So I would think we won't have any commissioner responses. All right. We'd like to take the minutes from January the 18th. Todd?
All right, we will do a roll call vote to approve the minutes. Ernest,
Yes.
Wolfgang,
Yes.
Jeanette,
Yes.
Mary.
Here.
Ah, yes, welcome. And how do you feel about the minutes?
Oh, sorry. I love them. I love them, except I wasn't actually at last month's meeting, so I'm abstaining, so.
Okay.
Not
Thank you.
paying 100% attention, but now I am.
It's okay. Hey, I missed the mission, so you
I
know,
was multitasking and honestly, no one can do that, so.
yes, also. Great. Angela,
Yes.
Catherine,
Yes.
great. Suzanne
Yes.
and Andy.
Abstain.
Okay. Minutes pass.
All right. Business matters, chairman update. So, couple of things, I don't know if we should leave this to the end, but I do want to say, thank you to Jeanette and, Andy for their time, on the commission. You guys have, it was nice getting, I mean, I've known Andy for a while because I've taught his kids. And it's been nice meeting Jeanette through the commission and her work with Cultivate. So just excited, to hate to see you leave, but also understand that there are probably other things that you probably have in mind to do or that you would like to do. Just thank you again. And we have a little something for you, but you'll get it later.
So we can clap later.
Later.
Okay. Okay.
But I do want to give you guys an opportunity if you want to say anything at this time.
I'd just love to say that I think you all are exceptional humans and I've learned so much being on this commission. It's pretty awkward to build relationships in this kind of setting. So it's not like I feel like we've really gotten to know each other in that way. But through the advocacy that you each bring to the table and the insight and care, it's just been a really wonderful experience. I'm so glad. And I'm so glad to see the two of you in the new leadership roles. Thank you for stepping into that.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you all for all that you do. I mean, it's been in this commission a while. It's been through a few transitions and it's really, it's great to see when the board is, you know, really on the same page and moving ahead. I'm glad to see the HUD agreement and the housing. Yeah, employment and the housing agreements moving forward. That was kind of a long-term thing, so. Sure that you all will continue to move everything forward real well.
And to the staff as well, Todd, you're a fantastic leader with incredible integrity and thoroughness in your work. It's really great to see you model that here and the staff that you've had as well. Lily, it's great to have you on board. And I see you back there. It's great to have you as well. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. As people leave, we also add people. So I wanted to give space to Ms. Angela Estes if she would introduce herself and let us know a little bit about you.
My name is Angela Estes. I am born and raised in Charlottesville, Virginia. Left 37 years ago to raise my children in Northern Virginia. Back because my mom needed help with my father. I work remotely from home. So I work for TELUS Health. Health, wellness, pension, payroll, benefits administration and solutions. I have a team of 78 globally, direct reports, and I travel a lot sometimes, sometimes not.
We know.
Yeah, well, and personal, I'm getting ready to travel even more. as I wind down my career. And I'm a mom to two daughters. My eldest is 42. My youngest is 31, but I have a granddaughter who, my eldest was in the military, right? So at 19, she called me from Vincenza, Italy, and said, "Mom, help me with this baby." So I went and got my grandbaby, and I've had her. She's 22. She graduates from VCU, biology, psychology, major in May. She's sitting for her master's. She has an internship with the Detective Unit Forensic Science and Police Department here, as well as an internship with the Commonwealth Attorney's Office in Charlottesville. So I'm giving her 4 more years and I'm out. Of support. So yeah, I knew, when I came back, I said I should be doing more. And I just didn't know what I should be doing. I know I worked many commissions in Northern Virginia assisting. And I was like, So, because I'm an empty nester, right? So yeah, so I'm traveling personally a whole lot more, professionally as well. So I'm very happy to be a part of this commission, though. Absolutely.
Well, thank you.
It's great to have you.
Yes, I'm looking forward to getting there myself.
Come on, join, yeah.
Well, cool. Thank you, thank you. That's basically what I had. We've been having phone calls with staff working on the annual meeting. I hope you guys saw the date and times and stuff. So we have planned a lot of stuff. So we hope that everybody can attend on March 9th. And things like that. Anything I would say, if you can, try to listen to city council meetings and things like that, and try to keep your ear to the ground of things going on, especially housing wise. I know Lily sends out information about meetings and things. So, I mean, a lot of stuff is virtual, so they have a virtual option. So it doesn't mean you always have to be in the place. But if you can listen while you're doing dishes or riding in your car or something like that, try to do that. So you can have as much information as you can about things that are going on in the city and around. So that's all I have that I know of. So we'll pass it off to the office staff report.
I can start out for that. We just released the public facing focus area survey, as you probably already know. But if you are able to spread that around to people that you know in your networks, that would be great, so we can get as many responses as possible. Last time I checked, we had about 175 so far.
Great, good.
So that's pretty good. It will close March 4th at noon. And I'm also still doing one-on-one outreach meetings if anybody would like to talk to me. I'd love to hear from you. And there are events in your agenda packet that are upcoming. I'll continue to email them to you as they come up. And the outreach data is up to date.
Thank you. Todd, do you have anything?
I have a few things. Just wanted to give a quick shout out to the staff who've been working really hard. Everybody on the team has now gone through the EEOC's 32-hour investigator training, which is really important from the perspective of having sort of some redundancy in the skill set across the entire office, so that everybody can help one another on the individual complaint work that comes in. It's really exciting to see Saad and Shael really kind of taking on the intake and investigation piece, seeing that system finally come to kind of fruition as we've imagined it over the many years. So that's exciting. Wanted to celebrate that a little bit. I think Saad, Shael, and Lily are also going to be going to the EEOC's new intake counselor training as well. So that's one of those things I've always wanted to take. I'm not gonna be able to go with them, but they're gonna be doing that coming up in April. So that's exciting as well. That'll just sort of round out the skill sets and then in terms of the intake counseling as well as the investigator piece. And then we're looking forward to having access to more training when we get into the FAP work share agreement, which that's the Fair Housing Assistance Program that Andy was mentioning. I think I'm about ready to get another meeting with HUD and city attorney because I've worked on the ordinance about as far as I can take it without asking a few more questions of HUD now. But my goal is to sort of push that through and see if we can get that in front of council, maybe sometime mid-year. Don't know a date yet, but that's the goal, if not earlier. So that's a good thing. Those are happening and those will lead to more staff building opportunities as well. So that's exciting. Other things to note, our annual report is now pretty much done in final draft form. Probably needs some editing after I drafted all the narratives, but I'm hoping to have that in a presentation form for you at the annual meeting as well. So sort of give you some information about how to what happened in 2023, so you can think about what to do in 2024. And then last but not least, certainly Andy and Jeanette, wanted to thank you guys so much for your service. I wish I could be there in person to say this, but it's been a joy to work with both of you. And it's been a while, right? You guys have been both on the commission for quite some time. So really appreciate your dedication amidst all the other things that you've got going on professionally and personally. And we'll miss seeing you guys regularly, but would love to maybe talk with you guys about doing maybe an exit interview coming up here. So stay around. Don't go away yet, because I would love to talk to you. We'd really love to see kind of your outgoing thoughts to help us think about how we do things in the future. So I think that's all I got. So thank you.
Thank you, Todd. Kind of awkward having you behind me. All right. We want to discuss, we have a work session for on March the 7th and a regular meeting on March 21st. So we're talking about the month of March. We have our annual meeting on March the 9th. Todd and I, we talked a little, Todd, I and Lily, we talked a little bit earlier this week, or was it it was Friday. Friday. And we talked about how we're thinking that maybe since this is budget time and usually city council kind of uses the space for budget discussions, especially on Thursdays, would anybody be opposed of us canceling a work session on the 7th and our regular meeting on the 21st if we do good work on March? If we do good work on March the 9th.
If we get a good star, if we get a gold star.
If none of us is on red.
That's the team.
Right.
Yes.
Well, I mean, we pass on the 7th. But so the 21st would be the.
You can hold that one over our heads.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Is anybody opposed to that? If we decide to go ahead and cancel those two meetings, knowing that we're gonna do good work on March the 9th.
I think y'all have already discussed this,
Yes,
so
we talked about it, but we want to bring it to you guys.
Yeah.
Find out how you guys felt about that.
I think I personally am okay with the 7th.
Uh-huh.
That makes a ton of sense. The only thing, I don't know if there will be anything that comes out of March 9th that we might want to utilize time on the 21st, or can we hold the time until after March 9th, or during March 9th, can we make a final decision? And maybe I'm the only one and everybody else is like, let's just
Because
cancel March.
Since that's our regular meeting, it should be held. The 21st should be held for us anyway, so.
Oh, right, yep.
The 7th is the one that gets kind of icky because that's
Yeah.
the time when city council's doing budget meeting stuff and something. And I think we're slated to go to Carver
Yeah.
on the 7th if we had to. Is that correct?
Yeah, we also might have to go to Carver on the 21st as well.
Okay, so. So we want to hold, go ahead and cancel on the 7th and then hold the 21st?
I'd be supportive of that.
You'd be supportive of that?
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Catherine?
Whatever you think is best. You're my
Well-
leader and I am following.
I think the only reason I suggested maybe holding it is, where we meet on March 9th. And then if we don't have the 21st meeting, we don't meet again until for about a month. And if we don't have anything to meet, I do not want to meet if we don't have a reason to meet, but I don't want to cancel the my thought is I don't want to cancel the 21st until we know, until we get gold stars from you on that.
Now, that's we go start with all of us.
That's right.
Making sure that we,
Yeah.
you know.
That's my only thinking. Yeah.
Do we, Todd and Lily, do we have a work session date in April,
It's the 4th, it looks like.
the 4th?
Yeah.
Do we know if we have to move that day or are we able to be in this space?
It looks like there's something booked for this room during that time.
Okay, so that means we will have to go to another
Okay.
space.
Yep.
So we do have that date if we,
Mhm.
so we wouldn't have a whole month if we need to do something
Yeah.
on the 4th.
Yeah.
So,
Do you recommend that we cancel both?
at first I was. But now I feel like, I'm thinking we're gonna do great work on
That's fair.
March 9th.
Then, yeah.
And then, we have the 21st and then we have the 4th in our back pocket
Yep.
if we need to. So I see Todd in my, in my corner of my eye going, so,
And I've got Carver reserved for all of them right now. But if
Okay.
you're seeing not the 7th, I can tell Nancy over at Carver we're out for that one, but so I'll say keep the 21st and the 4th held for us.
how much time do we need to give city for, moving their equipment over to Carver?
Oh, so let's see. I'll post public notice pretty soon. Are you talking about for communications?
Yes.
Yeah, good question. And I don't know, Caroline may be able to elaborate on who's doing that now. I know it kind of depends on the kind of sort of the setup, which team member from communications does that, but I can give them a heads up sooner rather than later. That's a good reminder.
Yeah, so, because I don't want to wait till the last minute, because I know for them, there's a setup. They need to have people and set up over there for virtual, and not just virtual, but for people to listen in. So I just want to make sure we have that in place and it's not a rush job for them.
Ernest, you think you could decide on the 9th? Would that work? And then after the 9th, I can just tell them?
Let's do that at the end of the meeting on the 9th. We'll make a decision.
Mhm.
If we need the 21st. And I'm definitely thinking if we don't need the 21st, we're gonna meet on the 4th.
I agree.
Because that's a long time for us not to meet. And if we've done great work on the 9th, then we definitely need to be holding each other accountable and making sure we're putting things in place on April 4th. Everybody good? Awesome, cool. How about that, Todd?
You got a thumbs up.
Sounds good. I couldn't get to my mute button.
Okay. Cool.
Space bar.
Is April 4th, spring break?
Yeah, I'll be here. I'm probably running to the Nats and see a Nats game or something like that during my time, but I'll be here on that Thursday. All right, all right, we all good for that right now? Would everybody, if you have either paper or on your device, can look at the agenda for March 9th planning meeting? annual planning meeting? If everyone has had, I will give you a few seconds to kind of look over that. Does anyone have any questions?
Who is the facilitator?
Her name is Rachel Randall.
Okay.
I could, is that enough?
I saw the name Rachel, but I was like, I assumed it was Rachel, I just didn't know.
Yes.
She's local and does facilitation of meetings?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you to the staff for vetting presenters and finding someone that fits what we wanted and our needs and price range. So any other questions or concerns, framework?
I love the history of the commission.
Yeah, hopefully I can sweet talk Charlene into helping us out with that. So. Any other questions or anything about the setup or what we're gonna do? The icebreaker will be light. Just want to make sure we get to know each other and that's everything. And then if you continue to look down your packet with the annual focus areas, goals and work plan. It gives you, our goals, ordinances, and also gives you a flow of what we need to be focused on. I do want to make sure, it seemed that the city council members appreciated us getting them legislative priorities. And I want to make sure we continue to do that. So that also may be a focus. As far as maybe a focus in our annual meeting, be looking at what those could be to get to them since they need. So we need to draft that by August. So that's something we should be looking at. What else is on here? A couple of years ago, we did an awesome outreach meeting that we had here. I think we did it online actually. With a panel discussion, and we've done a couple of those, and I think they've been pretty successful. That's probably something else we probably need to look at. Who we want to bring in as panelists. Things to discuss probably. There'll be some around housing, homelessness, and that type of thing. So. Anything else?
First time I'm seeing the different focus area, second to last page one. We have like a way that we're planning to distinguish primary versus secondary focus areas. Or is that part of the facilitated process that Rachel's gonna walk us through? I wasn't sure if it's like we're deciding how to do that or if she's gonna be walking us through that. Couple questions, I guess.
I think that this document is just intended to be sort of like a starting point draft for everyone to work with. So in the annual meeting, if you all decide on one focus area, you can do that. But if you would like to decide on
Other things.
two, then you can go, like, it's just sort of like an outline that you can just fill in. as you see
Indicative
fit.
that there is a blank and our
It is
annual
not-
meeting will help
Not
you
a
fill in that
mandatory,
blank.
it is an optional secondary
it.
focus area.
Heard, chef. Thank you.
With the annual meeting, we can fill those places
Let's
in.
fill those in, yeah.
Yeah.
And then just like you all do with these meetings, in advance, will we receive like the existing policy, like all, like be able to pre-read all of the stuff?
Yeah.
That we're able to pre-read, great. Excuse me.
Any other questions, anything? From the commissioners?
It looks great to have it outlined, like some of the goals
Yep.
ahead from here.
Mhm. Yeah, timelines help. So you're not searching for stuff. And you know where you know how to guide your meetings. And, you know, your priorities during that time, so. So I like that a lot.
I'm talking a lot tonight, I apologize, but I have one more super logistical question.
Okay.
So is this annual meeting being recorded just like we typically record meetings?
Yes.
Okay, and is there a way we can set up this room so we are not, I mean, I get that we need to be on camera. But I also like in terms of having these conversations, it feels like to be talking about group norms, to be talking about like our like where we want to focus on, et cetera. I mean, I think this is okay, but I don't think it's an ideal like way to sit for 8 hours and talk about all this stuff. From like a I'm gonna guess the facilitator would say the same thing. So I just want to name that, and I don't know what our options are, but I just want to put that out there.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
I mean, the other problem is I understand it from the expert source of Molly's tweets. Meetings in this room that are being broadcast are basically unintelligible. So I don't know if that's been
No.
fixed. I don't know if Todd has any insight or
I think the issue's been resolved.
it has been.
I think, yes.
Okay.
Hey, Catherine, just a question. Can you elaborate on that? Like, is it that she can't hear what's being said during the live broadcast? And follow up to that would be, what is the recording? Is she finding the recordings? And maybe that's a better question because
It's the live broadcast and I don't know if city staff can speak more to what the issue is, but it is often, the audio is unintelligible, whether you listen to the, whatever it's called, Boxcast or the Zoom or whatever.
that's so helpful to know.
they may
Thank
have-
you for that.
Yeah, I just know our director, deputy director, and our comms coordinator, I believe last week they met with IT to discuss the issue and I couldn't tell you what the issue was, but I'm almost certain it would have gotten resolved because Afton would not have let something like that just sit.
Thank you.
Yes, I hear you. And I will see what we can do.
Yeah. I'm
as
not
far
sure
as
if we can
this.
do anything, but
Well, I
we're
mean,
asking.
If I can share, like historically, we used to just do an audio recording. You didn't have to have a visual. And I'm curious if that was sufficient, that we record an audio version of our meeting. It creates a record, but we're less having to be fixed positions within a little more rigid structure.
To be honest, we actually had retreats with no recording
Right,
whatsoever.
I was gonna say, we
Yeah.
could
Oh,
also,
yeah,
yeah.
we had journalists taking notes
Yeah.
and people live tweeting, but
Yes. Yeah.
no recording whatsoever. So I don't think there's a legal requirement for the recording. I think that's just a good way to give public access.
Yes, so I was thinking about that too.
So one thing on that.
So I'll talk to Todd
So
about.
one thing about the recording is it really facilitates taking the minutes. And minutes are something that are absolutely required by law, but the video piece isn't necessarily. So we could potentially give our communication friends a break. And we could pull out the old digital recorder, put that in the center of the room to capture the audio for the purpose of minutes. And I think you know, there's been some talk as well by the facilitator of potentially breakout groups. It's impossible to capture, you know, 4 breakout groups in a single recording, but I also think minutes can also just reflect the main takeaways. Like we don't have to capture everything that's discussed as long as there's a summary of what was decided upon and what took place in terms of final decisions and things like that that came out of breakout groups. So I think there's a way that we can make this work as long as there's detailed enough minutes to give the public access to what's going on.
Yeah. So Todd, just check in on that, make sure. I don't want Ashley coming after us to, you got in trouble. Cause we were, didn't do, but I like that option. And I think that works better.
Agreed.
All right?
Thanks for that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind questions and things like that, because if we can work through some things, it could be options for us. But if we don't talk about it, we don't know, or we don't ask a question, we don't know. And I'd rather ask right now, see what we have, and or put it in Lily and Todd's hands, and for us to get up, for them to get back to us.
Yes.
And then, move on. And I agree, there's a lot of stuff in the norms and things like that, general public doesn't need to.
Yeah.
Worry about from us, it's more for us. All right, anything else, from the sessions or anything that we're doing? Or anything that you guys see in the annual focus areas in work plans? No? All right. You good, Vice?
It doesn't say anything, does it say, I'm just looking at it quickly, anything about the report? The research that we're supposed to do?
In this plan right here? Let's see.
You're talking about the wild thing that Walt Heineke had added into the bylaws?
Yes.
I
I think we can ignore.
I don't think it's a matter of ignoring it. I think it's a matter of like, the idea of research is fairly subjective, right? And so like, if we're expanding and filling in an information gap, that is in essence research versus conducting a random controlled experiment with the city.
Yeah.
Which would also be research, but also probably unethical. Anyway, I don't have to get into that, but maybe a broad definition of the word research can help us fix, and we still meet the requirements of the ordinance.
Whew, research. I will check in to make sure.
Make sure that's the case.
Yeah. I think that you fulfill that aspect of the ordinance. When you're doing research, when you're contacting, like, for example, last year, right? You're contacting housing groups, you're getting feedback, you're following meetings, you're inviting panelists to give you the knowledge that you need to ultimately develop some sort of work product or deliverable for council. I mean, that is the gist of that piece of the ordinance. And if you remember, it's kind of, it started out as being this hard and fast, like, research project kind of mandate, but then it got diluted a little bit to the point of it could be a project or a review or things like that. It's flexible. So I think that you're fulfilling that. If somebody feels differently, they may well tell us, but yeah, I wouldn't sweat it too much, because I think you're doing work that makes sense for the community, and then ultimately giving council something to work with, which is really what you need to do to be effective.
Awesome. Thank you. Well, thank you for bringing it up, and I'm glad we had that discussion. All right. Do we have any new business?
I wanted to raise one issue quickly, and not probably for discussion another time, but it's been reported that the city has purchased a lot at Levy Avenue and Avon. Some discussion about whether it would be a homeless shelter or whether it would facilitate somebody else, unclear kind of, but it seemed to me that at some point it could be useful for the commission to articulate support for the idea that we want, I mean, it's right around the corner from my home, and I hear some sort of rumblings in the neighborhood that not everybody's thrilled about it, and
Yeah,
personally, I'm
correct.
thrilled about it, and I welcome it to my neighborhood. It seems like the commission may want to say something in support of those efforts, because to have the city actually, take that initiative is really, from my perspective, very welcome.
Agreed.
Mr. Freeman, we've commented on the providers of emergency housing in Charlottesville are both not year round and also come with their own value sets that are not necessarily equitable and accessible to all. And so the city being able to fill that gap would allow us to make something truly equitable or more equitable than current provision is. So, yeah.
I'm not really proposing that we do anything right this minute. I just raise it as an issue. I think it would be nice to see the commission be supportive in some way.
This has the lot on Avon Street and
Levy Avenue, yeah.
Levy Avenue.
I think it was
Civil rights
Community
location.
rights.
CRHA sold it to
Oh,
the city, I
okay, right
believe.
there across the street from where
Yep.
they're building, working on the bridge. Right
Yeah.
over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, cause I was wondering, where is that?
Okay.
Right there where they're
It's a,
working on the
it's a good
bridge.
size lot. It was $3.5 million, something.
Yeah, it's
was
a nice size lot.
Yeah.
In a good spot. That's walking distance.
Very accessible for a lot of
Walking
folks.
distance to
Yep.
downtown, stuff like that. Oh, man. Okay. Yes, let's do that. Okay. I will talk to Wolfgang and Todd and hopefully try to develop something, have something for you guys at the annual meeting. So make sure you hold me to that.
Okay.
That we have something that we can sit to council on at our annual meeting. Any other new, yes,
Well, this isn't really new business, it's following up on old business. Where, and we don't have to do this right now, but maybe for a future meeting, I'd love to know where things stand with the request we made of the Salvation Army. And then we had talked about kind of following up on that discussion. I don't know that we ever heard back, or maybe I just missed it if we did.
Can you elaborate what we done?
Oh.
Please?
Yeah, it's historical. Okay, I could, let me, all right, I started talking, making noises, so I'll continue that, I suppose. Okay, we had the honor of meeting with Salvation Army leadership primarily to discuss, well, to meet the incoming folks and incoming leadership, and then even the
They
nature of the
wanted,
business.
they,
Yes, thank
yes,
you.
funding for
They wanted,
expansion and expansion.
They've
Yeah.
proposed expanding their facility and wanted our support in that project to take to the powers that be, really just support what's going to council.
Mhm.
And so our discussion evolved over a course of things and ended up asking really about LGBTQ plus inclusion in their facilities.
Mhm.
And it was, I think, it was kind of divisive amongst us. Some
As well as
saying.
disability
Accessibility, right,
of
and
the
language
facility.
accessibility, there are many aspects of what we were concerned. I guess to summarize maybe the two main opinions of the commission, correct me if I'm wrong, as I'm summarizing your all's perspectives. One perspective was that we would have issues supporting the Salvation Army if they were not able to offer more transparency in their policies.
Okay.
And another perspective saying, well, we absolutely need to support this because we need to support housing wherever it comes. And also the city doesn't have or I guess the third perspective too is also the city is not providing any housing, any emergency housing. So who are we to be critical of any providers of any of it? So I think in the end, we supported the expansion of Salvation Army to council based on our belief that we need more housing, we need more emergency housing access. They are doing the work in the community, we support the expansion. But we did have a continued conversation with their leadership regarding their policies for LGBTQ plus identifying individuals. as well as like language accessibility too, because they
And
said.
physical accessibility,
and
many
physical
accessibility
Many
issues.
accessibility
That they
issues.
were complying in fact with the human rights code
Yeah.
of Charlottesville. And we want to make sure
Yeah.
that they are complying.
I believe we continued the conversation for.
They were or not? They were
That they,
complying?
we wanted them to show us that they were in fact in
Okay.
compliance.
Cool beans.
And we asked for information to come back. And as far as I know, that conversation then didn't like move forward. I don't know that we ever got what we needed. And we had a discussion at that time that, you know, we will support this because it is so desperately needed, but that we can't let this drop and we want to stay on top of it and continue to ask how they are complying.
And it's gone to
Is that-
council, has it? No, yeah.
Always going to city council. That I know of. Has it going to city council?
Where's it, has it?
Yeah, that, it's done, it passed. They
It's
got the
already
money.
approved.
Oh,
They're
with
gonna-
our support.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That side of it, yes.
Oh, okay.
That's
they're
what-
gonna double their size.
Yeah, they're gonna move Bill behind,
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
the Salvation
But
Army.
we're still out, we
But we
haven't
still
asked.
want to know what they're doing. The
Exactly.
person we were talking to was so new, he said, I don't,
Right.
he basically couldn't give answers to us on the
Understood.
spot, and
Understood.
so. Yeah, I just don't want to let that drop.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
I just looked through our exchange. We had some more answers from Captain Van Meter, who's the individual that we spoke with. They addressed some
Yep.
more things about their policies,
Mhm.
specifically for HUD regulations, accessibility, LGBTQ identity, and then also safe space training that they provide for their service providers. And so I can forward that letter back out. And if we, proposing this, if we feel like that's not sufficient, we can continue the conversation.
So send a letter, if you can, send the letter out. And you guys look at that. And just make sure that's sufficient enough or what we need to do more, get more information.
It
Okay,
should be in your inboxes. As we do.
so that has been
Thank
sent to you guys.
Angela, are you on our distro currently? Are you getting our emails? You are, great, then I will not have to resend it.
All right, so send that information out. You can look at the letter and let me know.
Thanks.
All right. Any other new business? No? All right, matters of the public. Do we have anybody on for public comment?
Not.
Anybody in the back? Questions, anything for us?
Hello.
Well, welcome and hello. So no, so I guess we don't have any response from the commissioners about public comment. Any commissioner updates? Yes,
There is a Livable Seaville webinar on inclusive transportation. The speaker is Veronica Davis and I can't read because it's so tiny. Do you remember who from the city? Somebody from the city is gonna be there. It's Veronica Davis and some good person from City Hall who can speak about Charlottesville policies. It is on March 13th. I'll send a link out because there's an event, right? But it's March 13th in the evening. Webinar free,
you have time?
7.
What day of the week is that?
Wednesday.
So Wednesday.
Okay. You, I mean, I can send a link.
Yeah, some set up meetings. Can you read who from the cities?
I'm pulling.
That's on transportation.
Yes,
Yeah, it's Ben Chambers.
that, yeah, okay, yeah, perfect.
Then
Yeah, he's the transportation planning manager.
any other new business or any other commissioner, sorry, any other commissioner updates? I don't have anything. Todd, do you have anything, sir?
No other updates from the big head on the screen.
Lily?
I'm good.
You said you put dates and stuff, in the packet.
Yes, for upcoming outreach.
Where is that in the attachment?
It's.
Oh, it's in,
One of the colorful charts.
one of the colorful charts. I got you. What's that,
Should be
where is it?
page 22.
22?
But it includes that tomorrow I'm doing a presentation to staff at Sarah about our office and about the commission and services, just so that they are able to refer people to us as necessary. And then, okay, this is out of order, I apologize, but yesterday I did wellness bag deliveries at West Haven,
Oh,
which
nice.
should not be on the list, but now you know.
What was it, what were in them?
It's through the community-based recovery support network. And they have, the primary purpose is that they have information about different resources and agencies and avenues for support in the community, but they also have hygiene things like shampoo and soap and deodorant and things like that.
Well, thank you for doing that yesterday and for speaking with Sarah on tomorrow. Mhm. We gotta find another place to put that. That's being tucked in that spot. So it can be out there a little bit more so we can see that. All right, any other commission updates? All right, so next steps, we make sure I confirm with Todd about how we can handle the annual meeting. Confirm with Todd, wait for you guys' response on the information that Wolfgang just sent you guys from Captain Van Meter from the Salvation Army, if we need to do anything else with that. What else?
You and I are gonna, I guess, make a draft that kind of discusses why commission should support a homeless shelter, either at intersection of
Right.
Levi and Avon or at a
Gotcha.
theoretical.
Yes,
But that's a great location.
put, yeah, put that letter together for that, for
Quick
the
draft.
support,
Very rough draft.
yes. So support of the lot that the city bought,
And you want that before our annual meeting?
yeah, try to get that together for the meeting.
Sweet.
And then I also heard we should encourage people to complete the human rights survey.
Yes,
And I think it's only one question.
It's
Right?
either a multiple choice question or a fill in the blank.
Okay,
So
yeah,
you can
it's,
choose from one of the options.
it's very,
or-
yeah,
provide
it's
your own.
super fast. Yeah.
and how we getting that out? Is that going out, Twitter, Facebook? How's that going out?
It has been posted on the city social media pages, thanks to Caroline. And I think there are a few more posts scheduled to go out before it closes. And it's also, I wrote a press release that had the link, so that is out. That's available on the city website, and also people who subscribe to those press releases get it directly in their inbox.
Okay.
I have flyers with a QR code for people to complete it that I'm planning to distribute tomorrow. And otherwise, I've been just distributing it through channels and email chains that I have access to. meetings
On the
that I-
flyers posted at the post office and around places?
Well, they aren't right now, but they
Okay,
will
but it will
be.
be, okay, no
Yeah.
problem. I got you.
Yes, and it was in the
It
newsletter.
was in Seville tomorrow, I think.
That too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw that. Yeah,
You did a good job getting it.
Oh, yeah, see you rolling. All right,
yeah.
cool.
But if anybody has any other ideas for ways that I could get it out.
I'm gonna put it on Reddit tonight. Y'all can look for my handle. It's what else I post, I guess. Doxing myself.
I can put it on next door and people might
Oh.
yell, who knows? Or I won't.
People show up to protest.
I spent all my time to leave. That was.
Yeah.
Alright, y'all do.
It's like, and half of it is just, I saw someone walking down the street and he looked suspicious.
Yeah, I know.
I know, log out.
Yeah.
I do not want to go down that rabbit hole.
Yeah, okay.
I know, it's a bad one, sorry.
Hand is raised.
Yes, sir.
You saw me. I was also just gonna say you're doing next steps. Just another plug for Lily's one-on-ones. I think a few commissioners have done those. Maybe those commissioners who have can attest that they're not frightening. And
Not frightening.
actually
Not
quite a
frightening.
good opportunity to share, you know, your insight and perspectives to help us understand how we can best support you. So just putting that out there one more time.
Lily is not frightening.
Lily's not frightening. So, all right,
Or just lean into the fear if you are. Face your fears.
yeah. So thank you, again, Lily. So get your one-on-one. And I hope that Andy and Jeanette will do an exit interview with Lily and Todd too. And that's it. So again, Jeanette and Andy, thank you for your time on commission. We will miss you. But I'm excited to hear and see what you're gonna be doing next in our community.
Yeah.
All right. If all hearts and minds are clear, it is 7:30 and I would like to adjourn.
Seconded, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And if we're gonna applaud.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Todd.
Enjoy whatever snowy background that is.
Yes, I'm on the backside of the Tetons right now. I'm pretty lucky to be here.
Oh, yeah.
My
My goodness. That seems like fun.
keep my neighbors.
Yes.
Oh.
Oh, yes.
Cinnamon.
You all can come back anytime and do public comment or just
Oh, yeah.
come back to listen.
Yeah,
That is wise. I definitely would.
Oh, yeah.
The best part.
yes.